It's been a cold start to calving for Selwyn District dairy farmer Dan Schat of Darfield. The Emerald Acres farm at the base of the Southern Alps borders the Waimakariri River and supplies Dunsandel-based processor Synlait. As a modern farm with gadgets for just about everything, from robotic calf feeders to cattle collars. Dan escaped last week's gusts to have a chat in the cowshed with Monique Steele.
Yeah, it's basically an old covered sheep yard that we adapted, which many dairy farmers have done. These guys pretty much just come in and feed themselves, so it's all robotic. It takes the milk out of here from 4 degrees and heats it up to 36, so it's natural for the calf then, you see. Simple.
How many calves do you have?
We rear about 95 female replacements every year, and the boys are the contract ones for the companies like LIC and CRV that we rear on a breeding contract, and then we'll find out in December after they'll DNA test it and genotype it and find out if that's one that they want to purchase or not.
Has farming always been this scientific for you?
It's becoming more and more scientific all the time.
So talk me through a bit of your operation.
So we run 103 hectares effective here, so we run about 380 cows, mixed, like I say, between Holsteins, Jerseys and crossbreds, all A2 genetics. So that's why we supply Synlait, is because we have an A2 milk contract, so we get 20 cents a kilo premium for that milk. It's worth having that little bit of extra value for us. We run a typical what we'd call a system 4 farm, so a fair bit of input in spring and autumn, not as much through the summer. We're running around 1,800 kilos milk solids a hectare sort of thing, so we do all right.
Family operation too?
Sort of, yeah. My wife Amanda is pretty much in charge of this part of it. That was actually the idea behind the robots initially, was because she had a bit of early arthritis in her knees, so we're like, well, what can we do to sort of stop lifting as many buckets, having to get in there and be as physical with them. Installed the rubber matting this year. They have balls which will put the silage in. There's a little brush at the back which you'll see if they actually go up and rub against that, and it rotates, and it's a rotating brush, and it's like a scratching post. I love it, it's quite cool. So this is Amanda's side of the business, but yeah, I pretty much handle all of the cow side of it, the farm, fertiliser, etc. She helps milk as well, and we've got 2 young girls, 11 and 14, who aren't farm kids just yet, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. And with these robots, talk me through the tech. How does it work?
So this will it'll only let them drink. We've got it programmed at the moment about 7.5 litres per 24 hours, so it splits it into 2 12-hour periods. So if the calf comes in within that 12-hour period and it's already had its half-day allocation, it just won't let it feed anymore. The newer versions of these calf feeding robots, you can see on your phone at home exactly how much every calf's had, the last time it came in, all that sort of thing. It's quite impressive.
Are you using other technologies like apps for farm management?
So I guess we do use little different things, like we'll use the Farm IQ app a fair bit, all of your farm assurance type stuff, your monthly shed checks, etc. So it's giving you all those reminders of everything that needs doing. That's all recorded on the app, but there's lots of different apps. The Minder one with LIC, for example, that's all our herd recording, so every time a calf is born, you're out in the cow shed, you want to look up a cow, you can do that on demand. We use an Irish program called AgriNet for measuring our pasture and monitoring paddock growth. So yeah, a lot of the farming is on your phone. You can turn my pivots on from the phone, can monitor the soil moisture and temperature from your phone. It really, you sort of wonder where to next. Now they reckon there's AIMA technology, take a photo of your paddock and it'll measure the grass for you as well. You honestly don't know where it's going to go next. Yeah.
How's the season treating you so far? How was calving?
So calving's like every calving season, I think. A few wins and a few losses. We haven't had the best start. Like a lot of people, I was on a Zoom call yesterday. It's just been cold this year. A week of frosts last week has certainly made it challenging for the grass to want to get up and grow. We're sort of running a bit behind last season at the moment, but we've hopefully been setting the cows up well enough. That's another bit of technology. We use All-Flex collars on the cows, so constantly monitoring ruminations, doing everything that you can do to try and get the cows set up right so that when the flush of grass and the temperature does come, the cows will just take off. Keeping them full now and minimising that body condition loss is the key. But yeah, every year is different and you just got to roll with the punches a wee bit, to be fair.
The way your farm is sort of situated here, how would you describe it to out-of-towners?
I would describe it as, if you can imagine a big gap in the mountains where the wind can get through, we're right in that gap. We sit in the wind path of the Waimak Gorge, so it's basically we will cop any big wind, as it is out there a little bit today. Yeah, we do our best to farm within the conditions that we've got. Can present a few moisture challenges as you go through summer with the hot winds. Last summer we did all right because with the La Nina weather pattern, it's actually quite good. You get a big jump of rain every now and then, so you keep having growth all the way through summer. We use Central Plains water Sheffield scheme. It's not cheap water, but it's generally very reliable as long as there's nor'west rains up in the mountains. So it's when the west coast is finding it dry, we find it here too, because we're not getting the rain up in the mountains to supply our irrigation system.
The prices have been very good in dairy?
They have,
You're getting a premium too?
Yep, we have. So we get the standard farm gate milk price with Synlait, and then we get 20 cents for the A2, we get up to an extra 20 cents for our Lead with Pride work as well. So that's making sure we're farming the right way, ethically, environmentally, etc. Everything's covered, from animal care to people to maintenance of gear to everything. It's a constant work on, of course, because rules are changing all the time. But yeah, to your point before, the prices are good. There's no doubting that. But the old adage of you've got to make hay while the sun shines. Last year has been paying a lot of debt, because the years will come again when the payout drops and we're not making any money. We had 2 seasons in a row a couple of years ago that we did really poor. Of course, the debt wasn't paid quite so much in those years. Now we're basically doing our best to just constantly work on paying debt down, really.
Yeah, nice to lower interest rates kind of help as well.
Absolutely, yep. As soon as, I sort of have a bit of a joke with my bank manager, as soon as the OCR drops, I text him and say, I'll be looking forward to that cut then, John, and he's more than obliging, which is really good. So we've got a fantastic relationship with our bank, which is really good, and they're being quite proactive and being helpful at the moment as well. But it was in the media recently as well that the average, I think, farm working expense is $8.68, I think it was, off memory. So even at $10, that doesn't leave a lot to pay those extra bits and pay debt. So it is good. It's just not quite the windfall that everyone might think it is by the time you've paid all your costs.
Do you know much about where your product goes?
All of ours, when it's being used for A2, goes into infant formula for China. So, and I'm actually lucky enough to be heading to China in November. Synlait is doing a tour. A heap of farmers are actually heading over there on the 1st of November for a week to get hosted by some of the Bright Dairy directors on the board over there. So there's a fantastic big Chinese import expo on at the time, so we're there to attend that and have a bit of a look around, to be fair. So it's
Have
quite
you
exciting.
visited before?
No, I haven't. I have not been there before. I've been a few places in the world, but I haven't been to China before, so it's going to be a eye-opening experience, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, dead right. I'm sure there's some lessons to be learned.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I think my wife's a little bit gutted that she can't go, because she's actually off tomorrow to Dublin for her other business, actually, to be fair. So she's... I wasn't allowed to go to Dublin, and she's not allowed to go to China. Not that we don't like to travel together.
Very
but, yeah.
professional couple. And what is her side hustle?
So that's Rural Exchange New Zealand. So we're sort of basically bringing in people to help with the temporary work requirements in New Zealand farming, I guess. So prime example right now is calving time. So a lot of people will get a dairy assistant in for 3 to 6 months and helps cover that calving mating period, and then they'll go home and you'll have your local relief milkers and things that'll fill the gap after that. That's sort of what we do. It also brings in people who work in cultivation businesses, contracting, viticulture even, and also sending Kiwis out to work on farms or whatever overseas as well. So she's off to that. So I'm parent, calf rearer, dairy farmer for a week. Or we'll see how it goes.
Dan Schat, who farms near Darfield at the base of the Southern Alps. He was chatting to Monique Steele.